media pages. The Houston Astros have lost 2 series in a row. This time they dropped 2 out of 3 to the San Diego Padres on the road. That put their record at 60-59 and shrunk the division lead to just half a game. Next up is a road series against the San Francisco Giants, and it begins tonight. First pitch from Oracle Park is scheduled for 8:45, and the action can be heard on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. More bad news on the Saints front in training camp as offensive lineman Dylan Radins tore his ACL in Sunday's practice. This is now the second Saints player in camp to have their season end, the first being Brian Bresee on the first day back. Other players such as Pete Warner and Julian Blackmon also went down with other injuries. In the meantime, the Saints also signed former LSU linebacker Deion Jones to a 1-year deal. And Don Nelson, the second winningest coach in NBA history and a Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer, died at the age of 86 on Sunday. I'm James Mesh, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. You can give us a call on the ESPN hotline in about 15 minutes, 706-0111, as we broadcast live from the Bill and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. I kind of look at it as kind of a giddy up time edition. Like at the beginning of the week, I said I was worried. They normally play really well against the Blue Jays, but they botched a game, and I was hoping for 2-4. I was really worried about getting swept at San Diego and thought that was a very real possibility. And fortunately, they took care of that with a nice 6-3 win on Friday. Pena still can't field. I don't know. Pena's got a lot of issues right now. We'll get into that. But his fielding this year has been really poor, and I don't know what his problem is. He's had some injuries, and maybe that's messed up his rhythm and consistency, but he has been bad defensively this year. Now, again, if you're a mediocre shortstop, I wouldn't say he's been bad, but I think he's way better than a mediocre defensive shortstop. He has missed a lot of – it's not just about how many errors he's made. There's so many plays that I've seen him make a lot that he just doesn't make anymore. And then he botches a routine when Saturday and gives him the game-winning run in a 3-2 loss. So just sickening. All weekend, Tatis has not had a good year, and yet he's still got enough power that it's like they had a game plan. We're going to throw the ball right down the middle against Tatis. They did it all weekend. Like, what are you doing? And then King, who has been just struggling mightily, he strikes him out in his last at bat because he didn't throw the ball right down the middle. Like, what kind of game plan is that? They just consistently threw the ball right down the middle against them. And at the very end, when it's over, they throw the ball and it's right on the corner, low and away, and strike him. Man, what were they doing? There's a lot of things not going well. We just got to hope that some people figure it out and turn it around, and we'll see. Tonight is late night game on the West Coast, just sickening. Tomorrow night, late night game on the West Coast, just sickening. Wednesday, they fortunately play a day game, and so we'll see. They've got to win this series. They've now lost 2 series in a row. They shouldn't have lost the Blue Jays series, but they did. And so, we'll see. There's still a half a game in first. It was an interesting weekend. I try to explain baseball to people. You got people who are national baseball analysts who don't understand the game of baseball, even though they've been covering it for years. And I'm sure they were all shocked that the Red Sox, the hottest team in baseball, played the team who's been the most miserable team in baseball, the A's, and the A's went to Fenway and won the series 2 out of 3. I mean, that is just perfect example of what baseball is. On Saturday, the Royals beat the Cubs 6-3. The Blue Jays, also in last place, beat the Phillies twice, and the Phillies won a game yesterday, but it was like 7-6 in 12 innings. And so the point is this silliness about so-and-so's got an easy schedule. That is such a football comment, and it just doesn't. I don't even know if I buy the schedules for football, but I buy them a whole lot more than I do for baseball. It's just silly that so-and-so's got the third easy. I mean, it just means nothing. It just doesn't mean anything because you're playing against the game more than you're as much or almost as much as you're playing against the opponent. You're playing against the game. So many guys they're struggling or they're hot and they're fighting their swing. When you're fighting your swing and you're fighting like Pena right now, I'm worried about Pena offensively because he went through a stretch where he was hitting a bunch of home runs and really driving the ball, and it seems like he's gotten a home run crazy. He's just swinging at every pitch. Trying to hit a home run. Like, calm down. You're a leadoff hitter. Take some pitches. Get on base. If you hit a home run, great. But he's been atrocious lately. El Pedro Grande's been atrocious, and it's because he's swinging at everything. Stop swinging. Oh, they drive me crazy when they get on those Jaguars. Just don't swing. They supposedly watch all these film on their tablet. Can they not see that they're swinging at ball after ball after ball? I don't even know what they're looking at. All right, so we got the Astros. It's going to be a late night, man. I hope they win because it could be a rough couple days. Obviously, the weekend was highlighted by the Hall of Fame speeches in Canton on Saturday. It worked out. I never really know most of the time how things are going to work out, but it worked out where I could see all the speeches. I did tape it, but I didn't even need to because I watched all the speeches, and I thought they were really good. I didn't know what was going on with the whole Roger Craig thing, and then when you heard what he said, then you understood what was going on with the whole Roger Craig thing. And I've said before that he's probably he is of all the stars from those cheating teams of the 80s and 90s. He's the least sickening. I didn't have a problem with him, and it's because when I was younger, I kind of pulled for Nebraska. I've told those stories before. I didn't pull for the Gestapo teams. I didn't pull for Michigan or Alabama or Texas A&M or Oklahoma, or USC. I pulled for, growing up. In Nebraska and Ohio State, other than the locals teams, the teams that I pulled for the most growing up in college football, other than teams in local teams, were always Ohio State and Nebraska. And so I kind of liked Roger Craig coming out of college. And so he was less nauseating to me than the other stars. And I think they made a good case for why the impact that he had on the offense. I mean, he was the personification of Bill Walsh. And, I think if he had gone to an offense that wasn't like with Bill Walsh, same thing as Rice, neither one of them would have been in the Hall of Fame. I really believe that. I think they are guys who were very fortunate. Kurt Warner is one of them. They went to a system that really accentuated what they do best. And in many ways, we're ahead in that point. I think they were ahead of their time, and they benefited from that. But I think they made a good argument that how Roger Craig did a great job of, with his skill set, of making the Cheaters offense what it was, and he was a huge part of that. Obviously, down here and many places, the anchor speech was last, the quarterback, and it was Breeze, and I've heard people make the comment that there's never been an athlete that meant more to a city than Drew Brees, and I think it's true. I think it's just different. I mean, it's different with Brees than any other athlete in a community, a city, a region. I mean, it's just different. So to answer the poll question, I mean, I told everyone last week that I would cry during this speech, and it wasn't even so much. It's Drew, but it's just what he meant and the turnaround, and I shed tears sometimes just watching the Saints run onto the field. I don't need a historic speech from a Hall of Fame quarterback for that. So I had no chance to not shed some tears. And no, it was. I enjoyed the whole speech thing. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I enjoyed. Vinatieri's speech was different because he decided to add some comedian stuff in there, and obviously in the way I look at things, probably went a little too far in a couple of those, but his speech overall was just tremendous. I thought. I mean, I wish he would have found a different way to do make some of his jokes, but if he really wrote that speech, it was fabulous. I mean, in terms of, he had this incredible combination of humor, and again, maybe going a little too far with a couple of those, but of humor, and also given incredible, big picture life stuff and humility. I mean, the whole spectrum. And he was, that was from a speech writing standpoint, that was tremendous. Vinatieri's speech, I thought. Drew had the iconic line about being given the responsibility of the soul of the city and being willing to die for that cause. I heard someone say when they put the statue of Drew in front of the Superdome, that quote will be on it. That probably is true. That makes sense. That probably is true. I thought his speech, it was interesting. I was curious, and I think I know why he did this. He mentioned several teammates from the Chargers. I don't think he mentioned a single teammate from the Saints. Now, he talked about his teammates as a whole. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember him saying a single teammate from the Saints. I thought that was curious, and I'm thinking he did that. Now, he did a lot of coaches. He said a lot of coaches by name, but he didn't. I don't think he mentioned a single teammate of the Saints. And I guess he did that because it's like, well, if I mention one or two and not the rest, it sounds bad. I kind of took it as weird that he didn't mention any, though. I thought, but he mentioned some Chargers. That was a little strange. But obviously, the whole thing was great. You could tell how much it meant to him, and so he had some really cool moments in his speech, like a lot of them did. And him and Vinatieri's speeches were the best by far. I think I put Vinatieri's first. with the exception of some of those jokes that went a little too far for that setting. But it was what it was. But no, it was tremendous. It made you feel good. And hopefully the current team got a little inspired by it. I would think that they probably did a little bit, the current team. And we'll get to some issues on the current team as well. So if you're a real Saints fan, even if you don't love Drew Brees, I don't know how you didn't cry. What did you answer on that, James, especially since you were there? Because you were fraternizing with the enemy too much all weekend to cry about a Saints thing.
This cat.
I mean, I don't even know. This cat's sending me pictures of with number 80.
He's my favorite wide receiver.
Did you take any pictures of like Lenin or Stalin or with any of
No.
them? Okay.
No, you were asking about the poll question, though?
Yeah.
I shed a couple of tears for sure, but I was trying to compose myself as best as possible because I was up front, like right in the front of the stage, trying to get the best video I could for social media. So I was like, I gotta compose
you were
myself.
Working, so that makes it a little different. Yes.
Yeah, but if I was just like there watching, like just sitting down, like the fans or whoever, yeah, I think I would have like lost it more, but I think it helped me keep my composure in the fact that I was like, I need to like make sure I do the best I can.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. All righty, we'll take a timeout, get to other things, and again, if you want to have any reactions to any of the speeches given or any of that, certainly feel free to do so, and we will get to other things, especially the here and now Saints next. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season here, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley bring you these hurricane tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items before the storm makes landfall. Have an emergency kit stocked with food, water, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with battery-powered radio and make sure you have fresh batteries. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Bill and Hebert, your trusted Acadiana hometown lawyers. At Bill and Hebert, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BillHebert.com. That's BillHebert.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclubs.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
People often ask, is Kevin Foote crazy? Let's look at the evidence. He can recite box scores from a 1976 baseball game with ease. He puts corn on his spaghetti. And he believes a mythical creature called the Piper determines outcomes of baseball games.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
So, we let you decide. Back to more of the padded room annex of Footnotes.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Again, if you would like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, feel free, 337-706-0111. Let's head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Kevin.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know what makes you want to cry as a man when you're up there watching another grown man talk about his football career?
Just your love and passion and devotion and all the years of being a fan.
But it makes you want to cry or him?
Oh, I don't really care whether he cries or not. I'm just saying it evokes the emotions in me. Absolutely. It's not the player. It's the team and just the what. That going over those memories of thinking that you didn't have a franchise anymore, even though I was way too glass overflowed to believe all that stuff. But still, there was emotion and doubt there, and then the city being rebirthed and everything that game meant to the city and to the all Saints fans everywhere, and just everything.
No doubt, it was a special moment, but I don't know. I just couldn't see myself sitting up there crying because of that. There's another man talking about it, and I'm sitting there and cry. I mean, like I'm losing my dad or my grandfather.
Well,
but,
I
don't know.
I definitely shed tears. I mean, again, I shed tears sometimes just watching the Saints run onto the field. I mean, I don't need a Hall of Fame speech.
Wait, what?
Oh, there's no question that again, we're not talking about openly sobbing, crying, although I hate that word sobbing. But, like you watch somebody just go crazy, hysterical. I'm talking about shedding tears. But yeah, I think a lot of people. I think you have too many cheater roots to cry for the Saints too. You're kind of like James over here.
It's all. I'm gonna get you for that little cheap jab. I got you. But the Hall of Fame stuff, man, I just kind of gave up on it years ago. They started sticking people in the Hall of Fame for any little thing now. I mean, everybody made the Hall of Fame these days, and some of these cats don't even deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I ain't talking about Drew Brees. I'm just talking about in the past. Like, we started putting some guys in there that shouldn't be in there. I just completely gave up on it. Like, you put people like Terrell Davis in the Hall of Fame and stuff. Roger Craig, some of these guys. These guys are Hall of Famers, man.
Well, again, there's a difference between analyzing whether you think someone should be in the Hall of Fame or not and their speech being good or bad or having an impact.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's
what I say. I ain't talking about the speech part. I'm just talking about just the whole Hall of Fame thing. I kind of just gave up on it because not anybody get in. You have 2 good seasons and you win a championship, you're a Hall of Famer. That's not a Hall of Fame stuff. I mean, I don't know, man.
I get what you're saying. I get it.
Just stick anybody in there. You have 2-3 good seasons, and you're on a great team. You win a championship, so happens, or maybe it's one MVP in a championship. But you have just maybe 2-3 good seasons. The rest of your career is basically mediocre, and you get into the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, every time I go to like to the Hall of Fame stuff, I always go back to Terrell Davis. You know, I mean, I know you won a couple championships with the Broncos, but his overall career stats, it's not Hall of Fame worthy. It's not.
No,
and Roger Craig either. And you know, I mean, like I said, I talked with somebody jokingly about it and stuff, and like, you know, if they get in, I know they got championships and stuff like that, but if they get in, Warwick Dunn better be a Hall of Famer with over 10,000 career rushing yards at 4'7" at 120. I mean, come on now.
I hear you. All right, I appreciate the call. No, it's kind of like Eli. You know, I had another discuss. We've talked Eli for years. He was the quarterback on two teams that beat the Patriots and won the Super Bowl, and certainly I was pulling for him big time in those games. But to Ronnie's point, Rockefeller's point, look at if you take away the two Super Bowls, I don't even know if he was the third best team in the conference in either one of those two Super Bowls. And if you take away those two Super Bowls, he's not even being discussed for the Hall of Fame. He's not even in the discussion because he didn't have that many other good seasons. And he didn't put up that many stats to even be considered for the Hall of Fame. And so, good, I get his point. The whole, Terrell Davis, kind of like Gale Sayers, Kirby Puckett, guys who were elite players but didn't have long careers. It's a tough thing. I could almost put Koufax in there. Koufax didn't have a long career. Koufax was like awful the first 3 or 4 years of his career, but he had five elite seasons, and so they put him in the Hall of Fame. So I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I understand both sides of that argument for those players that had short 4 or 5 years of greatness. And is that enough? And some people say no. I can buy either way. All right, let us head back to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Over the summer, you had your project, man. We went over a couple of players, but I forgot to name this pair, and it's just kind of fitting what took place over the weekend. Speaking of Hall of Famers, I forgot to mention Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin, or Tim Hardaway. One of those combinations of players. I know at one point he was the coach of the Bucks. Before I got kind of into the league, I knew a little bit about it. But Don Nelson, man, some of the offenses that he came up with in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? The point forward. That was his creation, right? When he was in Milwaukee.
Seemed that way, yeah.
Great coach, man. What he did with the Mavericks, I know the Mavericks was struggling in the late 90s. Mark Cuban came in and, Don Nelson came in. Could never get them over, you know what I'm saying? I think that was Avery Johnson that led them to the finals against the Heat. But that was Don Nelson. He basically came up with that team. I think he was still a GM around there.
Right.
Or his son.
Yes.
But, hey, man, I just – great coach, man. Great personality, great character. I just want to hear your thoughts on him, man. He will be missed. It's sad that he didn't get a championship as a head coach. I know he won as a player. But I just want to hear your thoughts on him. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Well, he was a Celtic, so I never pulled for him as a player. He was a little bit before my time. I have a couple brief memories. When I first kind of started watching basketball, it was at the very end. But he was certainly, I would say I probably like him more than just about any of the other Celtics, and especially ones that became head coaches. I don't think there's any doubt he was a great coach. I think it's hard to compare him, but he was pretty innovative, and to Jay's point, and I think he rarely had like the most talented teams, and so he didn't win titles, but he won a lot of games, made a lot of good playoff runs, and to Jay's point, was pretty inventive, so creative, and did some things, and I don't know. Over the weekend, I heard a story about him and trying to get Dirk Nowitzki and all that. So no, I don't really have anything bad to say about Don Nelson. I mean, he, people don't ever talk about him with the Phil Jacksons and Pat Rileys and people like coaches like that who won titles. But I think he was probably every bit as good a coach as those guys and impacted the game in a lot of ways. So, no, there's no question he was a great coach and had a lot of really good players. I mean, obviously, Dirk Nowitzki was an elite player. He didn't really coach him, but he was part of that process as the GM. So, no, I'm glad. Jay always does a good job, or usually does a good job of bringing it. And I had Don Nelson circled, and I was going to get to him at some point today. I hadn't forgotten about it. But, no, he deserves some recognition and talk because he was, a great he had a huge impact on NBA basketball, no question. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame weekend came and went as the 2026 class was inducted in Canton, Ohio. Saints legendary quarterback Drew Brees headlined with Panthers Luke Kuechly, Cardinals Larry Fitzgerald, Colts and Patriots Adam Vinatieri, and 49ers Roger Craig followed. You can see what the weekend had to offer by visiting ESPN Southwest Louisiana's social media pages. The Houston Astros have lost 2 series in a row. This time they dropped 2 out of 3 to the San Diego Padres on the road. That put their record at 60-59 and shrunk the division lead to just half a game. Next up is a road series against the San Francisco Giants, and it begins tonight. First pitch from Oracle Park is scheduled for 8:45, and the action can be heard on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. More bad news on the Saints front in training camp as offensive lineman Dylan Radins tore his ACL in Sunday's practice. This is now the second Saints player in camp to have their season end, the first being Brian Bresee on the first day back. Other players such as Pete Warner and Julian Blackmon also went down with other injuries. In the meantime, the Saints also signed former LSU linebacker Deion Jones to a 1-year deal. And Don Nelson, the second winningest coach in NBA history and a Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer, died at the age of 86 on Sunday. I'm James Mesh, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Imagine a place where wellness, luxury, and community come together. Welcome to City Club at River Ranch, Acadiana's premier private club. Enjoy a state-of-the-art fitness center, exceptional tennis and pickleball programs, resort-style amenities, and a vibrant social atmosphere. Whether you're pursuing your fitness goals or expanding your social circle, City Club offers an unmatched member experience. Visit cityclubatriverranch.com today. City Club at River Ranch, where lifestyle meets distinction.
Looking for a spotless workplace? Variety Janitorial Services is your go-to. For office cleaning to stripping and floor waxing and carpet cleaning, your commercial space will look its best. Their reputation for perfection has grown throughout the entire Acadiana community. They deliver top-notch service with a commitment to excellence. Daily, weekly, or deep cleaning, trust the experts. Visit varietyjan.com today or call 337-298-8704 for a free quote. Variety Janitorial Services. We clean, you shine.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
Kevin Foote claims not to be a QW.
Now, here's the deal. I don't know that I can do anything.
Yet our guy can't stop talking about quarterbacks, especially Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Could he secretly be a QW?
I said you were a closet QW, as we discussed. I think you're more obsessed with the quarterback position and a worshiper than you realize.
Back to more Footnotes with Southwest Louisiana's biggest QW, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Well, we all know that's not true, but it's fun. It's all in good fun. That's okay. Got to have fun sometime when you talk about sports. We're not trying to be too serious all the time. Let's head back to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, Kev.
Howdy.
Hey, speaking of fun, remember a guy named Scott Shanley?
Yes.
You know, every camp, we're like, when is somebody going to beat out Scott Shanley? Like, good Lord. But anyway, going to that point, do you think Scott Shanley could have went to another team and wore the green dot?
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, saying that, how many players have we had elevated to the linebacker opposite of DeMario, and they weren't any good? They all went to another team wearing the green dot. So my theory is maybe Scott Shanley was good in games because Vilma always had him lined up in the right spot. Vilma was audible into the plays, was changing, putting everybody lined up correctly so they made sure they were in the right spot. I don't think DeMario was doing that. I think DeMario is a great linebacker, but I think that you're going to see a big change. Warner, well, I just heard while I was on hold that Pete Warner got hurt, but I was going to say Pete Warner's probably going to have his best year because Cade may have him lined up correctly because all those other linebackers went to other teams and wore the green dot.
Well, you know, I really think Stutzman's really good. And maybe I'm being overly optimistic. I think what we saw last year was very encouraging. You know, I think Ellis is really good. I've already said I understand his skill set is different, but I think he fits this scheme, Eddie Haskell's scheme, better than even DeMario does. And I think Warner is just a workmanlike guy. Now, I don't know the extent of an injury or anything either. That's the first I've heard. But no, I feel good about where the linebackers were. Now, one guy that I'm not as high on as a lot of people is Stahlberg, but I talked about it last week. Maybe it's time for me to I just keep looking at him as a special teamer, but he played some defense last year and did okay, so maybe I'm underrating him a little bit. I'm not as high on him as some people, but I feel pretty good about where the linebacking crew is right now, actually.
Yeah, I forgot about Stutzman. Yeah, I think so, too. I think that Caden's going to have them lined up better. I think they're going to be I think we're going to be just fine at linebacker. Now, again, I don't know what Pete's injury, but, yeah, Stutzman's going to be good. I have a feeling of that as well.
Yeah,
yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Right. No, I think it's a I know a lot of people are kind of questioning the linebacker, especially nationally, because of DeMario Davis going. And again, I love DeMario Davis. I don't think he's had stretches in the last two seasons where he was really good. Seemed like I remember at least two of the last three seasons, we'd be at the midway point. I'm like, has DeMario done anything yet? And then whenever I would say that, it seemed like he would have a couple great games or finish strong. I don't know that he was – now, that doesn't necessarily mean it was all his fault. We understand that football is a team game. At least I try to remind myself of that all the time, that football is a team game. But I feel good about the linebackers. I really do. So hopefully they can hopefully that's real. And is it possible I'm overrating the impact of Ellis? I guess it's possible, yeah. But I really think he's good. And I think he's kind of right in his prime. I think he's experienced 2 different teams. And I think I think he was just a perfect fit for this defense. And so I'm expecting big things from him. All right, let us head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, before I get into Breeze's breach, I want to have James's back. James, I feel you, bro. Jerry Rice has a special place in my heart, too, man.
Oh.
Even though I've been a lifelong Saints fan.
Oh.
Exactly. We can like other players.
No, not him. You can't. You can't.
The man hates hard workers.
You just can't. You just can't. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I really felt what you were saying earlier about the speech, man. Like I didn't really get it either. Like you're giving all these flowers to an organization who, in his speech, admitted they benched him several times. They also drafted Eli Manning, and when Eli Manning said, "No, I'd rather sit on the couch and eat Funyuns than come play for you," they pivoted to Phillip Rivers because they didn't think you were good enough, bro. Like, you're in Canton because of the Saints. Marcus Colston, Lance Moore, they're in the crowd. You can't even name-drop them when you name-drop Pete. I shouldn't be in the NFL, and the only reason I'm here is because of Casper Carmichael.
Well, I don't mind him talking about the coaches because he was with Pete Carmichael a long time, and I didn't have any issue with that. I just thought it was curious that he mentioned, Antonio Gates and a couple of players like that for the Chargers. Didn't mention any Saints teammates.
Now, before I leave, I want to ask you this. Do you think Drew Brees will ever have, go back maybe coach Purdue or maybe like an NFL coaching job?
I don't think so. I guess you never know what someone's going to do. I just think he is way too much of a businessman and has his hands in all kind of business ventures. And, he's still kind of trying to do some of the announcing stuff too. I just think he's too way involved with too many different things to go and be a coach, which is an all-consuming kind of an occupation. So that would surprise me. I would say no.
All right, guys. You have a great day.
All right. Thank you for the call. All right. The Saints. The current Saints. Over the weekend, I've been saying that there are a couple players. I was a little bummed over the weekend to get to obviously the whole Hall of Fame speech and all that was great, and we talked about it. And if you want to talk more about it, certainly I don't mind talking about it at all. It was great. It made you feel good. But for the here and now, I was a little bummed over the weekend because I hope that reality didn't hit me, but I feared over the weekend that reality hit me. I've been throwing out Julian Blackmon's name. Not a lot, but every once in a while we had a couple callers where I was like, have you even thought about Julian Blackmon one time? And I made the comment a few times, like, I don't even know if a lot of Saints fans even it's even on their radar that Julian Blackmon is a starting safety for this team. And I've said that if he can stay healthy and play, that could be one of the elements that could, if McCoy stays healthy, if Blackmon stays healthy, obviously you need, but I mean, those are guys with recent reasons to believe that they're not going to be healthy. Again, health, anybody can get hurt. We understand that. But not everyone seems as injury prone or as susceptible to it as McCoy and Blackmon. And so I think those guys' health is critical and important. And I say that. McCoy is critical. Blackman is the guy. I'm not saying they can't be an effective defense if he's not there. But I think if he can play to his potential and stay healthy, that would help elevate this defense to being better than people think that it is. And so over the weekend, when you hear knee injury left the field, you're like, oh, no. I mean, already? Really? Now, supposedly the news is good, and he went back on the practice field, and maybe it's nothing. But even after I heard the good result of that he's back on the practice field, it still made me think this guy's not going to make it, is he? He's not going to get it. Because Emerson's another one. Like, I just have this feeling there's so much recent injury history. Can you really expect these guys to have, to play the majority of the season or all of the season? Can it really? How realistic is that? That we're going to be, say, November or, Thanksgiving weekend, getting to be pretty late in the season, and Emerson is still playing and Blackman is still playing. How realistic is that? Am I fooling I just all those thoughts were going through my head over the weekend. Am I fooling myself? Because I think if those guys play, McCoy, Blackman, Emerson, I think this team has a chance to be really good. But are we fooling ourselves into thinking that it's realistic that these cats are going to play with their recent, really bad injury situations and histories? And so I got to tell you, I was a little bummed when I heard the Blackman thing. It was almost like, man, not again. I mean, I'm like, this guy's not going to make it, is he? He's just not going to be able to be healthy. And it's not like he's never had successful, healthy seasons in his career, because he has. But now the most definitive news that we got on the injury front is Dylan Radins. I'm not as high on Dylan Radins as some. I had high hopes. I didn't think he played very well last year. I mean, I think Dylan Radins played a big part in. He was in Ruiz and this backup centers, like they all played a big part. The Saints, the pressure that the Saints got up the middle was like the worst in the NFL. He played a big part of that. Now, I know you say, well, he's versatile, he's a backup, and that's true. He could play guard. He could probably even play center if you need him. He could play tackle. I get that he's a veteran and that he's versatile. But I don't really know how good Dylan Radins is. So I'm not going to get overly depressed over losing a pretty mediocre player. Now, he's got to be replaced. Like, what are you going to do? Unless they go out and pick up someone. I mean, Torselli Simpkins, some people are high on. He's considered the backup center. Could he play guard? Potentially. I mean, if Ruiz has really made progress, which is what they're trying to tell me, that maybe Jeremiah Wright could be a backup. Xavier Truss is a guy that has played guard. He's like considered a backup tackle on the depth chart. Austin Richards is a guy who's played guard before. So they have experience at guard. So are those the options? Maybe so. I don't know how good William Sherman really is. Will they go out and pick up another veteran? Perhaps so. I'm not nearly as worried about Dylan Radins' injury because I don't think he's all that good of a football player compared to if Blackman really can't do it and if Emerson really can't do it. That's what I'm worried about. We'll see how it plays out. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station. We know you can't get enough sports in your life. So go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Turn on the bell so you can get notifications when we post new content. Like right now, all types of Drew Brees Pro Football Hall of Fame content, in addition to original shorts like Foot's Friday Fury. Now you can stream all of your local shows on the new YouTube channel. So go and subscribe to ESPN Southwest Louisiana's channel on YouTube.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm, LSB filing number LA2519684.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. Benedict Arnold's.
1, 2, 3.
A division foe of the Saints who stole a bunch of Saints players and reminds Kevin of the 18th century military officer, also known as the Carolina Panthers. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Am I reading this properly? Is this real? I'm seeing a post here that says that Mike Garofalo, ESPN guy, is reporting that the Saints are hosting Terrion Arnold for a workout.
Yeah, he's coming on a visit.
Doesn't that surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
yeah.
The Saints don't normally mess with the guys who get in a lot of trouble off the field. Like, why would they mess with him. Like, he is not real highly thought of right now for his off-the-field issues. Now, he's young. He's a cornerback. I mean, you understand, could the Saints use a good young cornerback? Yeah. I don't think as badly as some other people think, but you can always use a good young cornerback. I mean, that's just, I get that. But, man, this guy was, a lot of people were like, I don't know. Doesn't seem like a very Saints thing to do. Doesn't seem like a beef kind of thing to do. Now, he's not on the team. We have no idea how it's going to work out. We don't have no idea. Just not something I expected to see today. That the Saints would be one of the teams trying to get Terrion on him. Now, look, I understand it's football and you're trying to win, and I don't know Arnold, any more than any other player, especially on another team, really. I don't know him. I just know what the things that, he went through, and it was bad enough for the Lions to cut him, the team that drafted him that has a lot of pressure to win too, like everybody. And so I would think the Lions have a much better idea than most of us about what went down, and they thought, we're cutting him. So just interesting. Now, is this an indication that, most of the guys that on our team here are really down on the Saints cornerback situation from the beginning? I don't know that I've heard one negative thing about Kool-Aid. I know the star of camp right now is Barryon Brown, but if you were going to have the runner-up for the star of the camp so far, it'd be Kool-Aid McKinstry. All the reports I get, like, he hadn't been beat at all since camp started. And so is this a bad sign? I don't know. Very curious, though. 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Bro Bridge Highway and on the banks of the Vermilion River. Come out today and try your luck at the Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local, certified South Louisiana.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up.
up, hurry it up. Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame weekend came and went as the 2026 class was inducted in Canton, Ohio. Saints legendary quarterback Drew Brees headlined with Panthers Luke Kuechly, Cardinals Larry Fitzgerald, Colts and Patriots Adam Vinatieri, and 49ers Roger Craig followed. You can see what the weekend had to offer by visiting ESPN Southwest Louisiana's social media pages. The Houston Astros have lost 2 series in a row. This time they dropped 2 out of 3 to the San Diego Padres on the road. That put their record at 60-59 and shrunk the division lead to just half a game. Next up is a road series against the San Francisco Giants, and it begins tonight. First pitch from Oracle Park is scheduled for 8:45, and the action can be heard on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. More bad news on the Saints front in training camp as offensive lineman Dylan Radins tore his ACL in Sunday's practice. This is now the second Saints player in camp to have their season end, the first being Brian Bresee on the first day back. Other players such as Pete Warner and Julian Blackman also went down with other injuries. In the meantime, the Saints also signed former LSU linebacker Deion Jones to a 1-year deal. And Don Nelson, the second winningest coach in NBA history and a Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer, died at the age of 86 on Sunday. I'm James Mesh, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. You would like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, certainly feel free. It's Monday. There's no guests. We'll have multiple guests the next 3 days or so. And again, we'll be getting back to talking to some high school football coaches. Looking forward to catching up UL softball, big summer of acquisitions and losses, like it is with college programs. So planning on getting in touch and getting caught up with softball and getting her impressions of the summer with softball coach Allison Habits on Wednesday. And then again, we've got Jeanerette is one of the teams. I kind of feel like they're an Acadiana area team again because they're not playing in what I call a Homa district. They're playing Acadiana area district again, Jeanerette, and they've got some really good players. And if you're asking for predictions of what Acadiana area team could make it to the Dome, quite a few people are saying Jeanerette. At least it's one of the names that is coming up. And so we'll be talking to Jeanerette head coach C.C. Paul, as well as a very familiar last name. Really looking forward to getting his perspective. Daniel Loteef, son of Tank, is going to be here. He's the new head football coach at Reigns. So looking forward to talking to him on Thursday. So we'll be talking a lot of high school football like we've been doing the last few weeks and we continue to do between now and really the end of the season. But you know, I don't know that we'll have 2 high school coaches once the season starts, but building up to the high school football season, wanted to do that. And so again, this is, if you want to call, this hour's as good a time as any to talk about what's going on. Our poll question of the day having to do, did you cry? Now, look, I understand some people don't take sports as seriously as like I do, you know, for the Saints and the Astros. I get that. You know, some people are just kind of casual fans. I get that. But no, it's the beauty of the Drew Brees Saints story is that it's bigger than football. It's certainly bigger than X's and O's, no question. And so, you know, I get there are going to be people on both sides of that deal. But, yeah, it's bigger than I think it's, if you live here, it's bigger than football. All right. Let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Good
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, listen, first thing I want to ask you, because I will forget, when are you speaking to young Coach Lotif? What day and time do you have it set up yet?
10:15 on Thursday.
Okay, I got to put my little reminder in the phone because I gotta hear what the young Master Daniel's got to say, man. I'm very excited for him, and of course he's such a wonderful kid, and I think a tremendous football mind. I think he's going to do great, at Reigns. So I just want to make sure I catch that. Okay, Kevin, crying and not crying. Kevin, they got two kinds of people in the world: criers and not criers. And I know you'll be shocked by this, Kevin. I'm a crier. I know. If all the years that you've known me and you watch me, you've been around me on the sidelines. I know you probably know that I'm a crier, but I always was a crier. I used to cry at Hallmark commercials, on the Christmas specials, and I can hardly get. Let me not lie. I can't get through It's a Wonderful Life. I can make it all the way to the end. And when Harry comes in and makes a toast at the end to my big brother George, the richest man in town, that's the end for him. My kids always wait for it because we watch it on Christmas Eve, after church. They wait for me and they're watching me. I'm like, okay, I got to get up and leave the room. But anyway, yeah, you got your criers and not criers. I mean, I got friends that probably, some of them say they hadn't cried since they were skidding their knee in kindergarten. But anyway, you got your criers and not criers. But I think both sides have trouble understanding the other side, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base and make sure I found out when Daniel was. And, man, just to say that, I think the thing about Drew is probably the first person, Kevin, I think that really we had a ringside seat. My sister had season tickets for his whole career. We went to a lot of games. I just think, and like you say, it just transcends football. It's just such a personal thing for people. Of course, in New Orleans, which my sister's been living in New Orleans for all of her adult life, and for people in Louisiana. So, it was a tremendous day, I think, for the state. All right, Kevin.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, my man.
All right.
Later.
And I think for some people, I'm getting older now. Now I'm a little bit more like Manny is, but when you get older, like my father-in-law, he would, no way he would ever cry. But once he got older, when he started talking about stuff younger in his career, his life and all that, no, it's just some people look at it as a weakness. I guess it depends on how you're doing it, but no, I don't look at it as a weakness. By the way, what's the updated results? Are more people crying or fewer people crying?
60% did cry during Drew Brees' Hall of Fame speech. 20% did not, and then 20% I also assume did not, but that's because they didn't watch the speech or listen to it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do it if you didn't watch it.
Yeah. Be like, it was a speech. Oh, no.
So, anyway, there was a section there early on where he was getting all technical about what it's like to play quarterback. That was a little much, I thought.
Or like he really got into like the scientific terminology, kind of going.
I don't know.
It felt like it was a lot of detail.
Yeah.
And like I understand for a lot of people that don't care as much about stuff like that, it'd be like almost like a turnoff.
Yeah.
But for me, I enjoyed it. I was like, "Ooh, okay, so we're really getting into the detail." Not too many people are going to enjoy this, but I'm enjoying this.
Yes. So, I don't know that evoked many tears is what I'm saying. No, it is what it is. No, he did good, and I just like the part where the Arnold Saints rivalry kind of came out in different speeches. I think that was cool. And so there was a lot to not like about the speeches, and it was Kurt Warner was one of the guys giving analysis kind of in the booth. I've always respected him as a person. Seemed like a great guy, and his thoughts I thought were good. It was all good. And now it's about playing football. So what are we now? 5 days away from the Saints' first preseason game. Hopefully they can stop getting injuries. I ended the last hour bringing up Terrion Arnold, and if you haven't followed him, and you don't really, I was kind of cryptic in what I was talking about. You know, we don't like to talk too much about the ugly side of the world outside of sports here, but he was arrested for an incident in February. I don't remember exactly when he was arrested, but there was an incident that happened in February of this year where he was involved in kidnapping. Like, we're talking about pretty big stuff here, kidnapping. And as I said, the Lions released him. This is a guy who was in 24. He was the first-round draft pick of the Lions 2 years ago. He was an All-American at Alabama. First-team All-American the year before. Played for the Lions for 2 years, and then now they're released. Can you imagine the Saints drafted a cornerback in the first round? He had some level of success, and then you're releasing him because of a kidnapping charge. So it's just an interesting situation. Seattle is another team that I've seen that's going to get a visit from him, and so I don't know where this is going. It's just kind of bizarre, but. Again, I wanted to fill in the gaps of everyone. Sometimes we assume people have kind of followed stories, and not everybody follows off-the-field stories, especially for other teams. You know, that's not their team. But that's what's going on with Arnold, and that's why it was kind of bizarre that I saw. I did not expect the Saints to be in that number of teams that would give him a second chance, and I have no idea if he's going to be with the Saints or what's going to happen. But it's and what is even his. You know, is he even going to be able to play? Like, what's his legal situation? So just a really kind of bizarre story that we'll kind of follow. All right, let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The good old friend Banks.
How are you, sir?
I don't know. I never slept this weekend.
Why you didn't sleep?
Because thinking about, I'm trying to find out if you're more of an Astros fan or a Saints fan.
I mean, people have asked me that question for years. It's really the same. I guess if I had to give,
because I'm not understanding how you go to New York for Hall of Fame for a player, and you don't go to Canton, Ohio for Drew Brees' inductee into the Hall of Fame.
Well, it just.
Well, I mean, as much as you talk about the Saints, you love them. Drew Brees was one of the best things since sliced bread to you, and I mean, I thought you should have been in Canton, Ohio.
Yeah, it just didn't happen. Now, look, if I wouldn't have got a phone call, I wouldn't have gone up to Cooperstown unless this fine gentleman wouldn't have called me and said, "Will you go with me?" And I said, "Of course."
I understand, and then you could have did the same to them fine gentlemen that called you and went with you and asked them to come to Canton, Ohio with you. Anyway, the sports world, football is right around the corner. I mean, it's right here. So what's the expectation in New Orleans?
Well, if they can stay healthy, my expectation is to, win double-digit games and win the division and go to the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. But got to stay healthy. You know how that goes.
Right. Well, yeah, that's with every 32 teams. Everybody got to have a healthy team, I'm still not sold on your quarterback.
Well, again, I don't even really think about the quarterback very often, to be honest with you. Like, we'll see in time whether what he did last year without a whole lot of talent around him down the stretch, I feel like he showed enough to where we have way more talent around him this year. And so I really feel like, if he takes a little bit of a step backward, there'll still be significantly better as a team because he's got so much more talent around him.
Now, did you get any good offensive linemen to protect your running backs and your quarterback?
Absolutely. They got the number one guard from Buffalo in the free agent market. So their offensive and then you've got a first round left tackle or first-round right tackle. The whole key is that McCoy stay healthy. He was hurt the last 2 seasons. I mean, they need him to stay healthy. And if not, I don't think they did enough, but we'll see.
Right. But I'm all, and I see y'all have a new running back, a homeboy from Jennings.
Oh, tremendous. And, yes.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm over the top thrilled for him.
Right. Yeah. Okay, then. Well, I was just checking in on you and just, wondering how you didn't make Canton, Ohio.
Have fun with your first 5 or 6 games.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna have a lot. I should be 5-0.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be all right.
All right.
All right. Sir.
All right. Take care. Banks is a Patriot fan. And I try not to be a schedule watcher because I think most of the analysis that I hear, especially with baseball, is so-and-so schedule's easy. The rest of it, I just think that's silly talk, just absolute silliness. But have you seen the schedule for the Bills and the Patriots, like the first 5 or 6 games of the year? Different worlds than what they went through last year. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The annual Fête du Teche boat procession will be floating down the Bayou Teche on August the 15th. Thousands of people come every year to celebrate their faith in South Louisiana heritage. The day begins with a mass by Bishop J. Douglas Desatel at St. Leo's Catholic Church in Leonville before dozens of boats depart along the Bayou Teche to St. Martinville, retracing the voyage of the Acadians over 250 years ago. There will be many stops along the way for people to pray and give public witness to their faith. For more information, visit fedduduteche.org.
From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we share these stories.
I was 35 with 2 beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please, don't wait. Your life matters to us. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. That's 800-819-8313.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity. especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. The Piper, a mythical creature that only Kevin sees, which determines the outcomes of baseball games due to how many runs a team score on any given night. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Speaking of the Piper, I mean, the Piper struck this weekend. Red Sox on a historic jag, just been crushing people. Been playing, they played every good team and they just crushed them all. And then they played the team who's the most miserable team in baseball right now, the Oakland A's at home. Well, not the whatever they are, the A's. And they lost the series at home to the A's. Like, that just can't happen in other sports. Just can't happen. There's no way the most miserable team, a team that's just been getting their faces crushed by everyone, for the last 2 months. The A's actually got off to a pretty good start, but in the last 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever, they've been just absolutely the worst team in baseball. And they go to Fenway and win the series. That just doesn't happen in other sports. It just doesn't happen. And that's the Piper. I mean, that's the Piper. And so just tremendous example of what the Piper is, that series over the weekend. And we'll see, it doesn't surprise me that the Red Sox went on a big streak because, like I've been preaching for years, multiple teams every year go on big streaks. When all the supposed baseball experts who can't count to 162 declare their season over and they got to trade everyone and all that silliness. And so but their streak was getting really historic, history of a franchise that's over 100 years old, historic. But I'm like, it can't continue. The Piper's going to get them. At some point, you got to pay the Piper. It's baseball. And they paid it this weekend with the A's. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the Red Sox do from here on out. Are they going to have a little mini slump here? Or are they going to head back in a different direction? Or it's just going to be the Piper got him and then they're going to move on? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the Red Sox do from here on out. By the way, I don't know. I mean, I guess the Piper plays a role in this. But I think this is more of kind of the medicine season mentality. But the Piper kind of plays in this too. You've heard me over the years. I've said I enjoy the home run derby. I don't ever want an Astro in the home run derby, ever. If it was up to me, no Astro would ever participate in the home run derby. And I hear a lot of, that's silly. Did y'all watch the home run derby this year? Jordan Walker and Kyle Schwarber. Jordan Walker hit his first home run over the weekend since the home run derby. He had 21 or 22 going into it. Took 750 swings as fast as he could. Got in that home run mentality. Took almost a month before he had another home run. Kyle Schwarber, elite home run hitter. Just ended over yesterday, just ended the second longest home run drought of his career. Hadn't hit a home run in 17 games. And I guess I'm supposed to believe that's just coincidence that those two things happen after the home run derby. Again, home run derby was fun. I want no part of that junk. Look, it's hard enough. I was commenting earlier. There was a what was it, about 2 weeks ago or so, whenever it was, recently, that Pena got on this little home run tear. It wasn't a home run derby. He hit like a home run in like 3 or 4 games in a row. All of a sudden, he's hitting all these home runs. And since then, it's messed with his mind. Like he's swinging at everything. Trying to hit home runs, it looks like. Cat, what are you doing? Can somebody say, Jeremy, you're a skinny, fast leadoff hitter. Why don't you concentrate on fielding the baseball and stop worrying about swinging and trying to hit home runs by swinging on every pitch? It's unbelievable how many balls that cat has swung at. And El Perro Grande went on a home run jag not that long ago, and now that's what he's doing, swinging at every pitch. He ain't hit a home run in forever. He's in this big slump because he's swinging too much. They get too home run crazy. Stop. Go back to playing baseball. Stop worrying about stupid home runs and messing with your swing and swinging at everything. This ain't the home run derby. It's still baseball. Oh, they drive me crazy with that junk. So y'all can have all that home run derby junk. I don't even like hitting a bunch of home runs in regular season games because it just messes with guys' swings too much. And then they start going on these stupid slumps. I hate it. All right. Let's head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, Foot, this is the guy from South Lafourche.
How are you, sir? Now,
Very good, sir.
Did you cry? Did you shed any tears?
I actually welled up a little bit during Vinatieri's speech more than I did during Drew Brees' speech. When I saw Vinatieri's dad, the way he was reacting, that's great. That's great.
I buy that. Yeah.
So I tried calling Friday, but we just didn't match up on when I could call and when you were taking calls.
Okay.
But I wanted to tell you a couple of things here. First of all, you had a caller Friday who was a big Bobby Hebert fan.
Mm-hmm.
And you can let him know that if the guy from South Lafourche tries real hard, I can do a pretty good Bobby Hebert imitation.
I bet you can.
But let him know, he said he used to pretend he was Hebert throwing passes to Eric Morton when he was little. I was 11 years old throwing passes, pretending to be him on Saturday mornings after their football games on Friday night,
Oh, yeah. I believe it. I believe it for sure.
But,
man, I like Eric Morton.
But I wanted to tell you, in June, my children took my wife and me up to Canton, Ohio, to the whole Cleveland area for my 60th birthday celebration. Now, my birthday's not until December, but June was the only time we could all get together. So we hit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we hit the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we went to see a Guardians game while we were up there.
Oh, cool.
Now, my wife and I drove. We took 5 days to get up there, and along the way we went to see some friends in Tennessee and went to Noah's Ark in Kentucky and see a relative's, property in Kentucky, different things like that, But along the way there, we hit 3 of the stadiums in the AFC North. We went to Cincinnati Stadium. We saw the Red Stadium down the street. Then we drove over to Pittsburgh, and I bought a few things in the Cincinnati gift shop. And then I dropped $250 in the Pittsburgh gift shop.
Wow!
And then we went to Cleveland, and I bought a few things there because the Cleveland Stadium where they're playing now is right next door to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we just walked over, and the little fellow led us into the stadium. We sat in the clubhouse in the chairbacks and got to see the field was actually a golf course at the time. They were doing some kind of competition with golfing, and the field was a golf course when we went. But
wow.
as far as the Pro Football Hall of Fame, anybody, have you ever been there?
No, I've never been.
Anybody who is an NFL fan needs to go visit that place. And when we were getting ready to leave in the morning, I asked my kids, I said, okay, what's the over-under on me finding something wrong that is factually wrong in this place? I said, I should find nothing. This is the place. And we saw a couple of presentations by a man who was relatively new there. And listening to him, I found one thing he said that was factually incorrect, and I told my kids about it later.
What was
and my
it?
daughter said, well, he was talking about the topic was the funked teams of the NFL. And he'd quiz us, he'd like the Canton Bulldogs, defunct or not defunct? Well, obviously not defunct. Obviously defunct, but the Houston Oilers, defunct or not defunct? Well, they're not defunct. They're now known as the Tennessee.
Well, that's semantical. But no, it sounded like a great trip.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
It was, and his little fact that he had wrong was that they started as the Titans in '98, but it was in 1999 that they actually started playing as the Titans. And I told my daughter that later on in the day, and she said, if you'd opened your mouth, I'd have got up and walked out.
All right. Well, great. I appreciate the call. Good hearing from you. No, that sounded like a great trip. We've actually talked about doing that Noah's Ark thing, but we've never pulled it off. All right. I got a follow-up to that in a little bit, but first we'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame weekend came and went as the 2026 class was inducted in Canton, Ohio. Saints legendary quarterback Drew Brees headlined with Panthers Luke Kuechly, Cardinals Larry Fitzgerald, Colts and Patriots Adam Vinatieri, and 49ers Roger Craig followed. You can see what the weekend had to offer by visiting ESPN Southwest Louisiana's social media pages. The Houston Astros have lost 2 series in a row. This time they dropped 2 out of 3 to the San Diego Padres on the road. That put their record at 60-59 and shrunk the division lead to just half a game. Next up is a road series against the San Francisco Giants, and it begins tonight. First pitch from Oracle Park is scheduled for 8:45, and the action can be heard on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. More bad news on the Saints front in training camp as offensive lineman Dylan Radins tore his ACL in Sunday's practice. This is now the second Saints player in camp to have their season end, the first being Brian Bresee on the first day back. Other players such as Pete Warner and Julian Blackman also went down with other injuries. In the meantime, the Saints also signed former LSU linebacker Deion Jones to a 1-year deal. And Don Nelson, the second winningest coach in NBA history and a Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer, died at the age of 86 on Sunday. I'm James Mesh, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of Four Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserlo talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSB filing number LA2519684.
August 15th is the date for the 12th annual Fête du Teche boat procession down the Bayou Teche. The day begins with Mass en Francais with Bishop Desitel at 8 a.m. at St. Leo's Church in Leonville. The boats then depart for a Eucharistic boat procession ending in St. Martinville. Register your boat today or find out more information at fêteduteche.org or by liking their Facebook page. Don't miss the 12th annual Fête du Teche, Saturday, August 15th.
It's hurricane season, and Mid-South Power Solutions wants you and your family to be prepared. Protect your home from sudden power outages with a Generac automatic standby generator, the industry leader. Installed by the experts at Mid-South Power Solutions, the Generac automatic standby generator start up during power failures, keeping your home powered until the local utility restores service. Remember, installing a standby generator is not a do-it-yourself project. Mid-South Power Solutions factory-trained technicians meet the highest standards. Don't get caught in the dark. Visit Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley or at midsouthpowersolutions.com. Mid-South Power Solutions. Your power, our priority.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not. But not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. The Punks, a Major League Baseball team that, according to Kevin, acts like a bunch of loudmouth punks, also known as the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back. Well, speaking of the Punks, had another losing weekend over the weekend. Off to one of their worst stretches in currently enduring one of the worst stretches, and this team has faced in a long, long time. So we'll see how they come out of it. Again, I think I can't stand them, obviously, like a lot of people around the country. But, man, their catchers are special. I mean, Will Smith. If you say you could have anybody in baseball on your team, obviously Will Smith wouldn't be in the top 3 or 4 because I'd probably get pitching arms and all that. But in terms of just pure position players, you would not have to go very far down that list for, I would say, Will Smith. I think that guy's probably the most underrated player in all of baseball. I think he's tremendous. And then rushing has been real good. And we talk a lot about the Punks, but they have like 2 players on their team. If you take them off, and Will Smith's one of them, they're not going to be the same team. Just not the same team. And so we'll see if he comes back, and when he comes back, he's been out for a while now. It seemed like 2 months or something. So we'll see if he comes back. Kind of a Judge situation there. All right. I'm going to get back to the Saints. I said I was kind of bummed this weekend. On one hand, I was kind of excited. The whole Hall of Fame speech, it's an uplifting deal. It's really cool. We talked about all that. But I was a little bummed because of the news of Blackman. And I know they're saying he's back and he can't, and hopefully it all works well. But it just kind of hit me as like really, are we really? Am I fooling myself thinking this guy's going to be healthy and really play this season and really be able to make an impact? I'm really worried that we're just me and some of y'all been fooling ourselves on that. So that we'll kind of put that on a shelf for now and see. All off season, when people say, "What are you the most worried about?" Cornerback. That's not what I said. You hear a few linebackers every once in a while. Hear a few Cesar Ruizes every once in a while. What was consistently my answer? What is the biggest, after the draft and the free agency, my number one concern is kicker. I never bought Charlie Smith. I still don't buy him. What did they say? He missed 3 kicks yesterday in practice. This guy's missing kicks all practice. He can't make a practice kick. I don't trust him, and I don't want him on my team. Now, if Tanner Brown walked into the studio right now, I would have no idea who was walking into the studio. Never seen the guy kick. I haven't gone to a practice yet. I'm anxious to see him in the preseason game. Supposedly, the Saints are off today. Tomorrow, he'll get the majority of the kicks, or I don't know how I guess they alternate that. But, I mean, the most important thing that you're going to see in a preseason game is when Tanner Brown kicks. Obviously, the most important, I'm talking about non-injuries. Obviously, if a key player gets hurt, that's the most important thing. But other than injuries, the single most important thing that's going to happen in these Saints 3 preseason games is if Tanner Brown can win the job by kicking the ball. You can do all this other stuff, but if your kicker misses kicks, you're in trouble. And the Saints had the worst kicking situation in the NFL last year. They lost at least 2, if not 3 games because they don't have a kicker. They cut him, and Smith missed 4 while he went in there. Many of you will argue till the day we're died, and that's fine. We don't have to agree. Kicking, especially in the NFC South, is easy. It is easy. It is not hard to make kicks when you're an NFL kicker indoors and in Tampa, unless the wind is really blowing or it's raining. I mean, you got all these indoor games in the NFC South or great weather. So, I mean, it's easy. And they can't, the Beav has got to address this. Like, I can already see it where you play well, you should win the game, you got a chip shot 40-yard field goal, and he misses. Or he misses 2 and 1 in the second quarter, third quarter, you should be up by 13, but instead you're only up by 7 and you lose on a 2-point conversion. Kicking, it just changes. Missed field goals are crippling. And yet we have this mentality, you can't win a game by making field goals. Stop. Of course you can win a game by kicking field goals. Stop with that stupid mentality. Yeah, you want to score your fair amount of touchdowns. But so often teams lose games because coaches pass up field goals, easy field goals, and they go for it and they miss it. And it ended up, if they had those field goals at the end of the game, they would have won the game with a chip shot field goal instead of having to go for the touchdown and missing it. I mean, this is just critical. It is by far, and second ain't even close. It is by far the biggest hole on this team right now, on this roster right now. They don't have a kicker. They have got to get a kicker. And it's up, do they have enough time to evaluate Tanner Brown? The problem with kicking is so much of it is apparently mental for bad kickers. And so, especially, so like you don't even really know what you have. Like it should be the thing. It should be the thing that you can evaluate easier than anything else in like training camp in August. And yet, you don't know whether a guy can handle the pressure, especially when he's never done it, until he's there. In the game, in the moment. I don't trust Charlie Smith. I didn't trust him last season. He didn't help the Saints' percentage. He missed 4 out of 13. He contributed to the Saints' bad percentage. Tanner Brown better come through. If not, I don't know what we're going to be back to where it's just so many good, their punter. Everyone's raving about the punter, which is not a surprise because they ain't seen an NFL punter since they cut Morstead. Had a bunch of high school punters since then. So they've got an elite punter, which is tremendous. I think their coverage teams elsewhere are going to be way better. But they don't have a kicker. This cat, Tanner Brown, could be the MVP of this season. Because if Tanner Brown can't do it, I don't know what they're going to do. We're going to be back to the Alindo Mare days, just searching forever. We had to pay the piper because of that pig Martin Anderson. I didn't even like him. I'm okay paying the piper for the Dome Patrol. I kind of like the Dome Patrol. I'm telling you, this kicker thing. I mean, if the Saints play with the Lions and have a chance to win the game at the end and miss it because they can't make a kick, or they play with the Ravens and they have a chance to win it, but they miss it because they can't make a kick, that's going to be some rough. I can just see it. I can just see it already. I mean, they have got to get this addressed. Look, I've been praising the mixers on a roll, and that's not really a mixer thing. This is a beef thing. Like, the coaching staff they've got to say, look, if they can't trust these guys, they got to go get someone else in here early before other kickers start getting cut. Like, they have got to get an NFL kicker in here. They have got to determine early on, these guys are NFL kickers or they're not. They cannot go into this season with a shaky kicker. It's so easy. It's the easiest thing to do, and it's the biggest hole on this team. Oh, this is ridiculous. When I heard that again over the weekend, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Want to take ESPN Southwest Louisiana sports station wherever you go? Then download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app powered by Moss Motors today. It's your one-stop shop for all things ESPN. 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. You can download free mobile app by simply searching ESPN 103.7 Lafayette. That way, no matter where you are, you can listen to Southwest Louisiana sports station.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
The biggest headlines in the world of sports are discussed here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. We've had a good Monday. Talked about the Hall of Fame speeches quite a bit, Dale, and I'm sure, in the next segment, the guys who were in Canton, the next two shows, the guys that were in Canton will be able to give you firsthand knowledge of what their experience would be like with James and RP3 and Dawson. So looking forward to hearing their stories. I haven't really gotten much of a chance to talk to them. I know James was fraternizing with the enemy, so we don't want to talk about that too much. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Heaven forbid I find players that I liked.
Oh, this cat's fraternizing with the enemy. And he sends me a picture of it.
Oh, I was like,
evidence.
I knew.
Evidence.
I was like, I knew you were going to hate it. And I was like, I'm going to send this. I want to see what his reaction was. He said sickening.
Sickening. It was sickening to see that picture. But anyway, so looking forward to hearing more what they have to say. Again, kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And Banks was giving me a hard time. I don't know. The older I get, the less I really, really, really want to be in that thing. Plus, it's getting kind of busy. We're doing a lot of high school football stuff going on these days, and the Cajuns are in camp and all. So, there's a little bit more going on. But no, it was a great weekend. So we'll be talking about that and hearing their examples of what's going on. I'm hoping that I'm not going to be grouchy in the morning. The Saints are off today, so unless someone gets hurt walking across the street, there shouldn't be anything from a Saints fan or a Saints camp situation that would cause angst for the morning, but I'm going to be staying up till midnight or so tonight watching the Astros and the Giants, and hopefully we can get a big victory. They need to get back. They've lost 2 series in a row. Their lead is down to a half a game over the Rangers. And look, the Mariners, there are a lot of people that believe that the Mariners are still the Astros' biggest threat in the American League West. And I understand that argument. I still don't know how the Rangers have the record they have. They're like about a 500 team right now. I don't, to me, they're not that good. But the bottom line is their bullpen has been way better than anyone thought this year, including myself, or especially myself. I thought that'd be the weakness. It's kind of been their strength. Thought the same thing for the Astros. It's kind of been their strength. So if you have a bullpen, you have a lot. And they still have above-average starting pitching. May not be elite starting pitching, but they have above-average start. They tried to trade their pitchers, but they didn't trade them. So they still have above-average starting pitching, and their bullpen has been really good. Now, their offense is in defense is a little iffy, And that's why, but a lot of people think the Mariners are a bigger threat to the Astros. And time may tell, time may show that to be. I get it, but we keep thinking the Mariners are having a medicine season. They went further last year than they've ever gone in the history of their franchise. And usually you take a step back after that. And so far this year they have. Kyle Riley was like a legitimate MVP candidate. He's having a serious medicine season. He's done things that had never been done, and not only just as for his position, but for his franchise. And it's just like he's not following up on that. He ain't even come close to following up on it. But with all of that said, this is a big week for them. They've got some really tough games, the Mariners. And I know you say, what, are you being a hypocrite? You're talking about schedules. No, I'm not talking about so-and-so's got an easy schedule or a tough schedule per se. I'm, 3 weeks down the road. I think that's silliness. But look, think about how serious this is. It's hard now. They're going to have to be good teams or they're going to be in deep trouble. Okay? Now, I'm not saying they can't. The Mariners have lost 5 out of 6. Okay, think about that. The Mariners are 4 back of the Astros right now. They've lost 5 out of 6. Again, can they come out of this? Of course they can. But listen to their schedule. And I know you say, oh, you're talking about schedules. I thought schedules weren't important. But just listen. They play 3 games starting tomorrow at the Yankees. Then they come to Houston for 3 games. I don't know if the Astros can beat them, but we'll see. Then they go to Milwaukee for 3 games. That's pretty good. That is a brutal 9-game road trip. 3 at Yankee Stadium, 3 at Houston, 3 at Milwaukee. Then they play the Cubs at home. Then they play the Phillies at home. So, look, that is no matter what your record is, and they just got finished playing the Rays. That is a brutal, 15-game stretch, 18-game stretch. Brutal. They're going to have to figure out a way to win, half those games or close to half, hopefully, or they might fall back further than they need to be falling back. And I hope they do. I'm not a Mariner fan. So while I'm not a schedule watcher, that's a pretty tough schedule. We'll see what happens. Y'all have a good day.
Around Acadiana, community means supporting the businesses that make our hometown special. That's why we're proud to spotlight local companies that are certified South Louisiana.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Curious about that old coin collection in your drawer? Then don't miss the Lafayette Coin Show, coming to the Cajun Dome September 11th and 12th. The Lafayette Coin Show bringing collectors, dealers, and enthusiasts from across the region to buy, sell, and trade rare coins, paper money, and more. Free appraisals, unique finds, connect with knowledgeable coin experts. The Lafayette Coin Show September 11th, 12th at the Cajun Dome. Explore history, value, and treasure, all under one roof. Don't miss it.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television